Hi everyone, it's Gypsy. First, I'd like to apologize. I'm kind of not myself today, kind of listless and everything. I did not sleep last night, and it's going on 7:30 p.m. here now. So I didn't sleep today either. Quick announcement on the Homestead community. It's short, so I don't need to do a separate video. We are now up to our fourth community member, and we are looking at listings online, and in about 2 weeks, two of our members are going to look at a few of these listings in person. So that's where we are now. I also apologize. In my house, it is the feline bewitching hour, and my girls are going crazy. Persephone just nearly knocked over the camera. Yeah, they decided they wanted to play now. So hopefully there's not too much interference from them. So anyways, I wanted to do this video. This is for people who have had a lot of ET experiences, abductions, encounters, and also for supernatural experiences too. So if you're wondering if there is support or a group where you can talk, I think I found one. I'm not sure. I just joined the group today. A few weeks ago, I was listening to a podcast called Edge of the Rabbit Hole, and this is where I heard of this organization called Opus. I can't remember exactly what it stands for, but if you go to opusnetwork.org, you can see everything about it. But they have support groups, well, for people like me and maybe like you. I figure if you're watching this, probably you too. But here's what I found amazing. I was told to introduce myself and talk about myself when I was accepted into the group today. So I wrote it out, and it was quite lengthy. What I realized is when you look back over your entire life, which for me is 57 years, I'll be 58 in the fall, and you start listing it, you realize there's more than you think. Most people, oh, no, I don't really have too much, ET or supernatural stuff going on in my life, hardly any. But when you think about it, you sit down and you really think about it, you'll be amazed just how much there is, and there's more that you don't remember that actually does happen. But I wanted to, all right, I'm going to show you tell you what I wrote in my introduction. I basically said that I was born a psychic medium. I come from a family where it's hereditary, and I've had supernatural and ET experiences throughout my life. And what I remember as a child is being able to communicate with spirits and see spirits. I had a childhood friend who was a spirit named Melissa, and my uncle, who died at the age of 6 months, was a companion of mine. I remember one night waking up when I was a child during the night and seeing a very tall, slim man standing next to my bed. First I thought it was my dad, but my dad, although he was very slim, he wasn't very tall, especially not extraordinarily so. And I realized it wasn't him. I believe it was an ET. I don't remember what happened after I saw him. I don't know if I just fell back to sleep or what. Let's see. When I was 13, I was walking home from the school bus stop, and I looked up into the sky to my left. I saw a spacecraft flying toward me. Now, this is a true story, people. This happened to me. My memory of the abduction is sketchy. I vaguely remember walking up a flight of stairs. Now, I think that's kind of odd because most abductees kind of say they were just kind of up there. Okay, it's kind of like they, at a molecular level, take you apart, put you up there, put you back together, and then when they're ready, bring you back down here. They reverse that. But for me, maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I don't know. I remember walking up the steps to the spaceship. It's very sketchy. I don't remember a whole lot, but what I do remember is seeing a silver wall with a blue rectangle on it. Now, what I didn't put in here that I forgot, and somebody who I was listening to someone else's experiences, and it was so much like mine, and it did remind me of something I had forgotten. Something, I was laying on a table and something came down from the ceiling, like some kind of instrument or something. But anyways, let's see. Yeah, blue rectangle on it. The strongest memory I have is as I was leaving the ship, being angry and turning around and saying, "How could you do this to me? I'm late getting home and my mom will be angry. I'm in so much trouble." When I walked in the door of my home, I was very nervous because I was afraid my mom was going to be mad. And the first thing I did was look at the clock. I was right on time getting home. I was abducted because I don't typically incarnate on Earth. I usually incarnate in Sirius B. Before I was born into this life, we made an agreement that I would come into this life as a psychic, and at some point they would come and harvest my eggs. The reason for this was to create stronger hybrid on our home planet with stronger psychic abilities. I now have an ET child there, a son, named Z-Rab, and we can communicate telepathically. During my teen years, I did my best to turn off and ignore my psychic abilities. I think what happened with them abducting me, and then my youth pastor saying, if you talk to spirits and stuff like that, you're going to hell. I got scared and I just turned everything off. For the most part, this worked for me. But every once in a while, I would see, hear, or feel or experience something throughout my life. It's like you can never really turn it off totally. Then I became a mom and I got very focused on my children. So, okay, so then I remember, and this is now I'm in my 30s here. I remember in my late 30s or early 40s going through a time when I would go to bed and then suddenly be paralyzed. Then I would be lifted out of my body, at least I think I was. I don't think my body went, just me. Lifted out of my body and carried down my hallway. I was very worried that whoever was doing this to me would go after my sons, but that never happened. And then one summer night, after my boys went to bed, I sat out on the front steps of my house. I looked up, and peeking around the tree, I had this huge tree in my yard, was the Shadow Man. And I remember I was like, John's window, was, in the front of the house where I was sitting, and it was open. I was afraid, he might catch on to something. And I was like very casual about it, even though I hadn't used it, I hadn't even really thought about using my abilities. I knew I could see spirits and stuff like that, and I just looked at him and I said, I can't talk to you right now. My son's window's open, and I don't want him to realize, any of this. And, so he just politely went away. Let's see. Oh, and then at the age of 44, I had a stroke, which left me legally blind for 8 months. As my eyesight was returning and I was recovering, so did my psychic eyesight come back. I was beginning to see energy and stuff again. Now, what I was told is the stroke was to remind me, basically who I am, a psychic medium, and I could see this stuff and to stop ignoring it. Wake up. Start being who you are and seeing what you can see. And I did. But still, I was ignoring it. I was just kind of like seeing this stuff, and I was like, and a lot of it made me think, well, it could be just an effect of the stroke, whatever. But anyways, so then when I was 49 in 2011, my eldest son committed suicide. That's John, who you guys hear talking a lot. It was then I decided to go back to spirit communication for obvious reasons. Although noises always bothered me, like I can never stand noise. It just, that's why I don't make a good city girl. Yeah. Especially high pitched. This became worse at this point in my life after I went back to communicating with spirits. I also began hearing buzzing noises like bees no one else heard. Between 2016 and 2018, I began having buzzing in my ears and whooshing in my head, like bouncing back and forth between my ears. And it still happens every once in a while, but this was like all the time back then. There were other strange noises in my head. And I went for medical test after medical test. My doctor was afraid. She goes, I've never heard of anything like this. And she knew I wasn't lying. But they couldn't find anything with all these tests. The spiritual experiences I was having at that time were very bizarre and frequent. Hi everybody, it's Gypsy, and I just wanted to show you the two newest additions to my beaded bandana collection. They are both 100% 22 and 22-inch square. The first is white with black print, and it has vintage beads, faceted clear glass, and round iridescent glass. And the second has both blue and clear glass, faceted beads, and the round iridescent glass beads. And yes, all of these are vintage. Come check me out at gypsywitchcreations.com. Look under accessories and press in the tab for beaded hair bandanas. Frequent. It was at this time I began astral projecting, and at first it was just like spontaneous. Yeah, like what was it? Oh, the first time it happened, my bed was here and my dresser was here, and I had this big mirror, and I went to bed and I closed my eyes to go to sleep, and all of a sudden I'm going, why am I looking at the dresser? I thought my eyes were closed. Moreover, why am I looking down at the dresser? And then I thought, wait a minute, and I thought I would test it, and I opened my eyes, and all of a sudden I'm back in the bed looking up at my mirror. That was the first time going, what the heck? Because I didn't know about astral projecting at that point. Then one time, I had an online business, craft business, and I had left all my work stuff on my coffee table. I go to bed just as I'm about to sleep, or maybe it was right a while after, I don't know. But I know I was not dreaming. I was wide awake when this stuff happened. I find myself sitting on my couch looking at the mess on my table. I'm going, I don't remember coming in here. And so again, I did the thing with testing my eyes, and I ended up back in bed. Another time I woke up, I'm looking out my kitchen window. One time I woke up, I was looking out my living room window. I remember we had a huge snowstorm, snow all over the place. It was nighttime. Then another time, for some strange reason, I ended up in my kitchen, floating at the top of my refrigerator, looking at the cereal boxes I had. Whoops, Spirit got too close to the camera again. I don't know why. After that, I started practicing doing it intentionally, and I was able to get out of the house. Yeah, we did some fun things, didn't we, guys? Yeah. Anyways, and it says, so that brings me up to date. And for the last 2 years, I've been going through something also very bizarre. And, when I'm done processing it and dealing with it, sorry about that. That was Persephone getting wild. She's trying to get Rhiannon's attention. I'll tell you guys about it. I'm just not ready to right now, but this has been going on for over 2 years. So my life has been filled with all kinds of weird stuff, and I know it's all connected. The psychic abilities, the abduction, everything. I really believe I have more contact with my people on Sirius B than I remember consciously. I think it happens more often than I think. And I believe my psychic abilities, what's going on planet Earth. And yes, yeah, what I've been told is, well, one, I'm an ET soul. I usually incarnate on Sirius B. I'm not comfortable on Earth. There are many, many of us from various planets who have incarnated here. Dan's quoting the Bible for such a time as this. Right, Dan, stop it. Who have incarnated here from other planets for such a time as this, for what is going on this planet now. And like I told you guys, we're at a fork in the road, okay? And we have to go our way, not the powers of, because we are going in a direction nobody really realizes what it is. I think I know. If you'd wake up and really put two and two together and realize what's going on, you'll know what direction it's going in. And I guess I'm going to say eventually humanity will no longer exist on planet Earth, and there will be greedy, power hungry beings taking over this planet. Okay. Right. A little nervous about saying this stuff. And that's what many of us are doing here. Furthermore, there are those who have incarnated in our typical bodies, in our typical planets, who have actually come to this planet and are living here like that. I'm like, wow, I think this is hard. That's got to be even worse. And, then there are other, I think they're still, they're floating around the universe taking care of shit, because right now, the saying, Earth being the center of the universe, it's true now. Not locationally, but attention-wise. Because, yeah, the shit is hitting the fan. It's already started. I don't know. It may get worse. I'm not sure about that. I don't want to really focus on it. We need to keep our focus on our goal. Okay, of ascension and creating a better reality here, because that's the way to fight this, not violence or anything like that. Creating a better, breaking free and creating a better reality. So anyways, I'm sure there are many of you, because there are a lot of ED souls on this planet right now. Now, what I learned today, which I never knew, was the majority were born in like late 50s and the 60s. They're like 40, 50 over, Yeah. I don't know why. I'm not, I can't access that memory right now. But anyways, if you are dealing with these things, it's very lonely. I have dealt with a lot of, throughout my life, feeling like I don't fit in, like I'm weird, I'm different, which caused a lot of depression. And I always felt like I had no one to talk to. And yes, a few years ago, I asked, I was talking to my family in spirit realm, I think particularly my kids in spirit realm. I said, is there any way I can meet people like me? I am so lonely. And now I came across this group. Every once in a great while, I'll meet another ET soul in person, but we never, stay in the same location. So today, I put my introduction in the support group, and I haven't received a response yet. I'm hoping it's more interactive than what I'm seeing so far. But if you need to talk to others who have had similar experiences as you, go to opusnetwork.org. I'll put the link below. They have a form on their site where I think the tab says contact us for support, and you fill out the form, and a few days later they'll admit you into the support group. I really can't update you on what I fully think right now, but I was reading through it. I'm having trouble. It's on Google Groups, and I'm having trouble navigating that and knowing how to use it. But I was reading a lot of the conversations, and not only they're fascinating, sometimes they go, well, that person's experience, I think, may be even weirder than mine. Now, a lot of these people have been hypnotized. Before I realized who I truly was, if anybody mentioned being hypnotized, whoops, spirit got too close to the camera again. Somebody mentioned being hypnotized to me, I'd freak out. I think I wasn't ready to know what happened, especially at the age of 13. When I was abducted, or what was actually going on all throughout my life, and I could not remember. I was very afraid. I would consider it doing now, but I would have to get the funds to do so. So my memory is not quite as clear as theirs, but I've had a lot of weird shit go on. And if you have too, and you need this, look this up. So I just wanted to share that information with you. Just in case you need it. because I understand it's hard. And then when you do speak up, you have those who are unaware of what's truly going on, and they have derogatory comments towards beings like us, people like us. So that support is really important. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.